So here it is, the highly awaited, highly anticipated, brand new fragrance by Paco Rabanne. This is called 1 Million Royal. You have this ruby here on the front. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this brand new designer fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on the brand new Paco Rabanne 1 Million Royal, is this going to exude class and elegance and opulence and grandeur and all of these other wonderful things? I'll tell you in just a second, but before I begin, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload these videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. It would really mean a lot to me. So I'm looking at the note breakdown for this one and it sounds pretty interesting. You have cardamom, you have benzoin, there's a little bit of lavender, violet, clary sage, tangerine. So it seems like it's going to be a little citrusy, quite warm in the dry down with the resins, also a bit aromatic in the heart with the lavender and the clary sage and the violet and all these other things. Two perfumers worked on this one, Kenton Biche and Christophe Renaud, both super accomplished perfumers. I own, I think, pretty much every 1 million flanker there is, including Elixir, including Privé, including the Intense version and all that good stuff, and the original. In any case, I'm looking forward to giving you my thoughts on the smell, letting you know how it translates to skin. Let's start with a quick look at the presentation. Now, right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get that warm sweetness. One thing that I think people often associate with 1 million fragrances is the fact that so many of them tend to be on the sweeter side of things. As a matter of fact, one of the kind of ongoing narratives as far as the original is concerned is that it smells kind of like bubblegum. Some people say it smells rather juvenile or puerile, and some people make some really crazy comparisons, right? At the end of the day, I think it smells rather nice. I do like the way that the original smells, and I think, you know, it did kind of pioneer the genre in its own way, and it put a different twist on the gourmands that we know and love today, right? Even though some people found it to be a little bit youthful, but that's besides the point. What we've seen is that some of them have taken a bit of a darker direction, kind of like 1 Million Privé, right? That kind of went in an incensey direction, and I love that one. I miss that so much. It's discontinued now. Of course, we have Elixir, which also took it in a dark, sweeter direction. And this one here is 1 Million Royal, which actually I think smells rather similar to, I think it's called 1 Million Elixir, that had the little insignia here on the front. I looked it up online and I do agree with the vast majority of the comparisons that are being made. People are saying this one smells very similar to Stronger With You, I think Absolutely by Emporio Armani. I know there's Stronger With You, Absolutely. There's a bunch of different flankers. I do kind of see this smelling like the original and perhaps also Absolutely. One thing about the original is I know it kind of has like this, it's either chestnut or hazelnut, but it kind of has like this nutty vibe about it. And I get that from this too. It's kind of like this warm, nutty, slightly sweet, vanillic, ambery type of a fragrance. And as far as the amber goes, there's benzoin in the note breakdown, so I am getting that. Cardamom is listed in the opening. I'm not getting an overdose of cardamom. I'm getting enough of it that it's coming across rather pleasantly. And in the heart, I am getting a little bit of that aromatic component. As a matter of fact, I bought the brand new Invictus Victory Elixir, right? The Parfum Intense. That's like the brand new Paco Rabanne fragrance. That one actually smells much heavier, much sweeter, almost has a little bit of like this lactonic fig coconut thing happening in there. So that's not happening here, right? So I am getting the aromatic notes coming through quite noticeably. And another fragrance that I reviewed recently as well, I'm not sure if I'm going to publish this review first or that, but it's actually the new Polo Red Parfum. That one also has a bit of a noticeable aromatic touch to it. So what I'm seeing happening in the industry is a lot of perfume brands, especially the mainstream designer ones, are creating that sweetness, but they're also creating this aromatic component in there to kind of offset the sweetness so that it's not as heavy. And I actually like the direction that perfumes are going in nowadays. I think it does pretty well at satisfying both crowds. And what I mean by that is the ones that want that heavier, party, sweet, clubbing type of a DNA, but also the ones that want that refined, professional, elegant, office-friendly DNA. So I think what we're seeing here is kind of like the hybrid, the mashup, or the fusion of those two worlds. So you can call it a best of both worlds. It is a bit of a dichotomy, so it's a type of fragrance you have to try for yourself to see if you like it. But pretty much what you're going to get from this is a warm citrus in the opening, very short-lived, enough cardamom but not too strong. You are going to get some aromatic components. The lavender doesn't smell like a cleaning product. You are going to get a clean violet as opposed to a petrol-based violet, or one that smells like Dior Fahrenheit. You are going to get that clary sage, or that sclary molecule, which smells very bright and youthful and clean, professional. In the dry down, you're going to get that Emporio Armani Stronger With You type of a sweetness. And that's 1 million. I almost called it 1 million ruby because there's a ruby on the front, or it looks like a ruby or a garnet, whatever, which happens to be my birthstone. 1 million Royal, the brand new fragrance by Paco Rabanne. Let me know what you think of it. If you have experience with it, leave your comment down below. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, like most designer fragrances nowadays, they're kind of following the trends, and I see this one following the trends of Emporio Armani Stronger With You, which has been around for several years now, but that type of a sweetness is actually going rather strong. I've seen it in Azzaro fragrances, I've seen it in Valentino fragrances, so it seems like every major designer brand wants to put out their own version of that type of a DNA, and I do think that Christophe Reynaud and Kenton Biche, the two perfumers who worked on this, are both geniuses. So this one does smell awesome. I'm a huge fan of this one, and I surmise that it's going to do really well. Longevity, 10 hours, fantastic longevity on this one, so that's a great thing. Projection was really good for the first, I want to say, hour of application. It radiated just a tad beyond an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 5 or 6, a skin scent right around hours 9 or 10. In terms of the versatility, I think this one is a bit masculine leaning, great for the colder weather, great for a night out, partying, clubbing type of an environment. You can wear this one casually and dressed up, but I think it's more for like a flirtatious party, date night kind of an environment. And I do see this one catering to the tastes and sensibilities of somebody who's a little bit younger, and I say that on account of the sweetness. And in terms of the presentation, I think it looks nice. Some people might consider it a bit gimmicky, but I think it looks pretty cool, and you can easily differentiate which one is which, right? So I do admire that aspect about a lot of the 1 million presentations, right? It's no like second guessing, oh, is that the right one? Is that the right one? I've seen that happening with the new Polo Red, where the eau de toilette, the eau de parfum, and the parfum look kind of similar to one another, so that's not the case here. My final verdict on this fragrance, it's a fresh, aromatic, slightly sweet fragrance that does bear resemblance to Emporio Armani's Stronger With You, absolutely. If that sounds great to you, check it out. If you are a fan of the 1 million franchise, you want to continue to support, by all means, please do. I paid full retail for my bottle. I had it shipped overseas. I think I paid like whatever many euros for shipping. It was quite expensive. But in any case, I'm hoping you enjoyed the review. I hope it was worth it. Thank you so much for your time today. It really does mean a lot to me, and I really appreciate it very sincerely. If you took something of value from today's episode, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon and give this video a thumbs up if you learned something today. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.